All right, guys, episode 3. Let's talk about the gut microbiome. So, what is the gut microbiome and why should we care? It turns out that you and I are covered with hundreds and trillions of very small microbes, all right? The collection of bacteria, viruses, molds, fungi, protozoa, and even worms is collectively called your holobiome. Have you heard that one before? It is imperative that we really start considering each and every part of the holobiome as part of us, or literally us. The human cells that make up you are only 10% of what you are. And you are walking around with only 1% human genes. Did that make sense? Let me say that differently. This human that you see walking around is composed of 90% non-human cells. And 99% of what you see is non-human genes. Well, maybe you don't see the other parts. And that's what's important to really let sink in. So take a minute to let that sink in. Go ahead, pause it if you need to, rewind me if necessary to listen to that again, but absolutely take this time on this episode to really let that sink in and understand that even though what you see as human only looks as human, this is what we clearly see, but there is so much more of something else that's not human that really makes this work. Please let that sink in. So, did you pause me? Did you rewind me? Are you back? Welcome back. These microbes that exist around us, literally also around us, exist around plants. They exist in the soil. They're literally everywhere. So they have been part of this earth for much longer than humans. And we have developed a relationship where we depend on each other to thrive. So our health depends on them, and their health depends on us, at least the ones that are living with us, as us, are us. So these microbes are divided into subsections to work diligently on specific tasks. It's almost like a day at the office for them. There are specific bugs that live on our skin, within our brains, in our lungs, in our mouths, in our guts, even divided within the gut for specific tasks. I want to focus on the group that resides in our gut, and that is colloquially called your gut microbiome. So let's make sure that we understand what the GI tract includes. It starts in our mouth and it runs all the way down our anus. As a reminder, remember that this is still the outside of the body. If it helps, think of the GI tract as the Chesapeake Bay Tunnel, all right? That is, and the inside of you, the inside as the water. So when you think of it that way, the cars going through the tunnel are not in the bay. They're just literally passing through, still on the outside of the water, right? So everything that's coming through is not literally coming in. This is still the outside all the way down. So anything that's coming through is just passing through and it's still on the outside of your body. There are plenty of experiments that have demonstrated that a long, immune, strong life is simply not possible without these microbes. We depend totally on these microbes in our gut to break down plant cell walls, to extract energy, and to transfer these in the form of fats for usage within the body. These microbes and the outside world are held out by what is known as the gut wall. Unlike the skin in other parts of our body, the gut wall is not only the largest surface area that we have, but also it's only 1 cell thick. So a 1 cell thick surface area, the size of a tennis court, is keeping out all of those microorganisms and all of the other stuff that's just passing through outside from your body. And the objective of the microbiome is to digest foods that you cannot digest on your own and to pass those digested foods into you. But that's not all they do. They're also there to battle things that might cause you harm. And with that, I'm going to stop here for this week, because next week I'm going to start talking about what are those things that we're eating or being exposed to that want to harm us, that our gut wall is trying to protect us from, and our microbes are trying to protect us from, and how do we maintain the health of that. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions regarding this, put them down in the comments. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, go over to Instagram, Guts by Erica, to follow me. I have more information on there. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode this week, and I can't wait to chat more next week.